Hi everybody, my name's Paul Murphy and I've got a passion for hats. Today I wanted to talk about hatbands and their place on hats and what you can do to smarten up or improve the look or um, just refresh an older hat is clearly cleaning the hat, giving it a good steaming and then replacing the hatband. Now most hatbands are made of a sort of gross grain material, and in fact let's see what we've got. We've got this this lovely Homburg, and it's got a gross grain on it, and it's about 4 or 5 centimeters wide, and it looks very, very smart. But there are times when you want to change them, and this particular hat was a hat that I bought secondhand, and knowing that the hatband wasn't in particularly good condition and I needed to freshen it up. So it just so happened that my wife and I were restoring a Gladstone bag, and in fact, I'll show you, be easier. So this is the Gladstone bag. It's a beautiful bag from Suede Aidley Brigg, and they're quite expensive to buy new now if you can get them. But of course, this one's secondhand, back from the 1970s or 80s, I think. Now this is the material that we took out the beige sort of sackcloth that was in there and replaced it with this beautiful it's actually a jungle print design, and we had some left over, so my wife very kindly said that she would make a hatband for me. So we sat about measuring the size that we wanted, and I looked at all the hats in the collection I've got and decided I wanted a particular width. So she took a piece of material, doubled it over, stitched it through the middle, and then I pressed it so that the seam is actually at the back here. And then what we did was we popped it around the outside of the hat, and I measured where we needed to actually sew the seam so that it could sit over the hat nicely. Now, well, I've also very kindly made this bow. But when I've looked at it, I think with the design of the hat being quite sort of contemporary, the bow being quite big and chunky, I thought that less is more. So I've decided to put that to one side. And what I'm going to do now is the join is here. I'm going to put the join where the bow would normally be, which is normally on the left-hand side of a hat. So if I look at this hat, it's on the left-hand side of the hat. So I'm going to put this line so that it lines up with the left side of the hat, and there we go. Just ease it all down. There we are. Now that looks pretty good on its own, but what we then need to do is to stitch this onto the hat. So quite simply, we go over to the reverse side, we pick up the sweatband, the leather sweatband, ease it out nicely so you don't crack it, and you can probably see it's actually got a maker's satin lining in here. Now this has been I think stuck in from what I can see, and yeah, so what I'm going to do is I've got some green colored thread that I'm now going to thread up with a needle and start putting very small fixings, if you like, through the hatband and through the inside of the hat. Now when of course the sweatband is then pushed back, you won't be able to see it, so look nice and tidy. And all this will do is just keep it in place so it doesn't fall off. And if you were so inclined, I've also got things like that very nice, oh, that needs a little bit of shaping, but a beautiful feather could go in the side, or you could just leave it as it is and have it up or have it down. But I'm going to put some tacks in there and show you what it looks like later. So I'm very pleased to say that I managed to learn how to well, relearn how to use needle and thread and get stuck into tacking on the band around the outside of the crown here. I'm really quite pleased with the job that's been completed and how the hat looks. Inside, just to show you quickly, there's the leather band. If you pull that back, you can then see that I've done the tacking and still left some of the thread in there, which is very typical of what I've seen in other hats. So it's all in line with traditional hat making and hat working. So yeah, I hope you like what you see. Thanks. If you've got a passion for hats, keep watching the channel. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.